we live today?
We are live.
All right, so hello to the Hackathon heroes. Welcome to another day packed with innovative projects and masterclasses. I am Richard Varghese, Chief of Operations for OS-SCi and Open Source Science Netherlands, and a proud OCA member. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a perspective on the importance of the OCAs in the Odoo ecosystem and how you hackers and students and other developers from across the world can contribute effectively to this beautiful ecosystem. So now guys, get ready to explore a fascinating community project that is just waiting for your unique touch. So we can switch over, yeah. So whether you're here to code or whether you're here to collaborate, just simply have a blast. Let's turn this into a celebration. So happy hacking, because there's lots of projects, lots of prize money to be won from a lot of Odoo OCA modules that we have already posted in various forums that you can contribute to. You have about 7 days to do that, and please start. So I would like to give you an idea on my company, which is OS-SCi, which I represent. And what is OS-SCi? So we're based out of Netherlands. OS-SCi is a pioneer in open source business software specializing in IT infrastructure and cybersecurity. We're also a proud first Odoo Gold partner in the Netherlands. But after that, we've evolved to 2,500 plus OCA contributions in the past decade. We're also supported and backed by industry pioneers who have a passionate feeling about open source. And they've been broadly behind our vision and mission for open source. Equally, I'm collaborating with Eric Malls as operations head for open source science, and we're passionately educating students, senior developers from across the world in this open source initiative. We also collaborate globally with like-minded partners who also work on Odoo OCA modules. We even sponsor many of these initiatives, and so that's been happening in the last few years. OS-SCi also happens to be OCA's platinum sponsor in the last 2024. Now, let's look at an agenda and what I'd like to cover in this session. So since the audience is primarily students from 12 countries, 22 universities, I would like to start a small slide on what is an ERP, about Odoo as a software, and the journey of the Odoo Community Association. Of course, and that brings you to how it's important in contributing to the Odoo Community Association modules. And last of all, a call to action to so let's look at what is an ERP. The word ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planner, which is primarily a business software that unifies various functions across a company. So basically, it centralizes data and provides a single source of truth across departments, say be it finance, sales, inventory, HR. It just brings the whole soup together. An ERP system automates business processes and manages workflows much more efficiently. So in reality, it enhances collaboration by connecting different departments through shared data. And in today's world, you have built-in reporting, you have AI integrated to ERPs, which provides valuable insights to help companies make informed decisions in their business processes. Now let's look at today's question, which is what is Odoo ERP? Odoo, which is also called On-Demand Open Object, is an all-in-one solution offering modules for CRM, inventory, accounting, HR, management, marketing, and much more. Imagine you can also have a website on Odoo. So it comes integrated with a full suite of applications. So you don't need a separate software for CRM. You do not need a separate software for your finance. You do not need a separate software for your websites. You can integrate the whole thing using Odoo. And Odoo supported by the Odoo Community Association. So what are the advantages? It is modular and scalable. And a business can start with just one app and add more apps as you grow. And with a very highly customizable architecture, Odoo can be tailored to fit very specific business cases and extremely easy integrations and add-ons. It is, of course, cost effective due to its open source nature and offers affordable investments for the companies who are trying to build an ERP software. The good part about Odoo is it's backed by a very active global community that continuously contributes to its growth and improvement. And when you look at the user-friendly interface of Odoo, you don't need a degree to work on Odoo. You just need a reasonable brain, which almost all of us have, right? So the user interface of Odoo, it's quite modern and it's quite sleek. So it's very easy for businesses and it's users to start using Odoo. Another very important feature about Odoo is that the deployments, when it comes for a business, say you have a new requirement or a new patch coming in, the faster deployments is one key highlight of Odoo. With options, you have an on-premise option. You can launch your Odoo Community Association code on your cloud. So technically, it makes businesses jumpstart to getting an ERP software. The next, what I'd like to present is what is the market when it considers ERP. The ERP market today is projected to reach a value of $90.63 billion by 2029, which is huge. And what's Odoo's place in it? Odoo is among the top 6 as far as today's rating in 2024 was. It was a survey done by CX Today. That's how Odoo is important in the ERP landscape. Now I'd like to take you to a small journey of the Odoo, especially the OCA in relationship to the OCA. So Odoo began its journey in 2002 as Tiny ERP. And of course it was driven by a very strong and free open source software FoSS philosophy. 2009, it was renamed to Open ERP. And again, it started to gain traction because it is quite modular. It had a lot of features and a vibrant community contributions those days. As far as a milestone of OCA goes, a critical milestone was established in 2013 where the OCA itself was established, ensuring that open source contributions continued into the Odoo. 2014, you had Odoo transition, you had Open ERP transition to Odoo. So that's when the birth of the actual Odoo takes place, which were, till today it was Open ERP, and then a transition to Odoo. Expanding beyond ERP to a full suite business application. So it kind of launched it, rebranded, launched into a full suite business application 2014. Here comes the tricky part. 2015, the introduction of a hybrid licensing model brought Enterprise Edition of Odoo alongside the Community Edition. Now this started sparking debates about maintaining the original FoSS ethos. Despite these concerns, Odoo continued to develop both the enterprise edition as well as the community edition. But by 2016, the shift was quite clear. The FOSS ethos, Odoo Enterprise was moving away from the FOSS ethos. And this started to mark a very important milestone for the OCA because it started to have clearly independent growth. And this also underscored that FOSS could not thrive without a dedicated organization structure. And many thanks to the vision and efforts by the founding members of the OCA. So what is the importance of the Odoo Community Association, which is the backbone, ensuring contributions and popularity of Odoo across the world? It's very simple. To keep Odoo 100% open source. And that's the mantra that's keeping Odoo alive with this 100% open source idea from Odoo Community Association. I'd like to start a small greetings from the Odoo itself. Virginie de Wolf, the Executive Director of Odoo Community Association, could not join us in person here in the studio. So she sent across a message, which is displayed on the screen, and it reads, "Why do I love open source? I have the possibility to understand what's going on in the tool that I use every day, and it can adapt them to fit my needs. It also gives me a sense of control on what I do and how I do it. In addition to that, I meet very nice and brilliant people in the Odoo open source communities. My hope for the future is that every student working in it join and strengthen the open source movement through Odoo Community Association." Thank you, Virginie, for this inspiring words, which I'm sure will motivate all of us to engage with the open source community association initiatives. So I'd like to stress a little bit on the importance of OCA and its focus areas. The Odoo Community Association, or the OCA, is a non-profit organization headquartered in Switzerland with a mission to support and promote the open source ecosystem around Odoo. Now, this ensures the community thrives without commercial bias, and the Odoo Community Association upholds democratic principles, giving every member a voice in decisions. This inclusive approach helps make Odoo ERP solutions more affordable and accessible to businesses and users of all sizes. What it also does is that it fosters collaboration by connecting developers from all over the world, businesses and users, encouraging sharing of knowledge, resources, and even best practices. Indeed, OCA is a true champion of open source, committed to preserving the core values of open source software while balancing needs of community and commercial stakeholders. So that's what OCA is there for. But again, without an independent governance structure, it would be impossible. So the OCA ensures, with good governance, that it ensures the quality of Odoo modules. It ensures that there is continuous innovation and serves as a vital bridge between the features when it comes to Odoo Community and Enterprise editions. So the OCA's contributions results a greater empowerment for small and medium businesses and small-scale industries, giving them access to a very affordable ERP solution market. So now let's look at the infrastructure of Odoo. Now, everybody likes community software. It's nice, you can develop a software. But for the community to thrive and to bring the OCA modules to where it is today, you need to have a vast infrastructure. You need to have a vast uh, governance model in place. And that's exactly why I presented this slide, so that you can see how big the infrastructure of the Odoo Community Association is. OCA's infrastructure is quite extensive. It has got about 200 code repositories hosting numerous open source projects. The association thrives because hundreds of contributors keep continuously improving and maintaining the ecosystem. There are thousands of modules developed, tested and maintained within the OCA framework, ensuring businesses have reliable and up-to-date tools, right? Because yeah, it's free, it can be used by anybody, but it has to be accurate, it has to be reliable, and the OCA spends a lot of effort in keeping this infrastructure alive. So OCA now provides essential code testing tools so that the codes are up to mark. It has governance tools to ensure that there is governance in terms of quality, memberships of community contributions, how it works. And just look at the vast infrastructure. Hosting, email, websites, run boards for testing, and the amount of comprehensive documentation that goes behind. Translation tools, making Odoo accessible to businesses worldwide, regardless of language, right? In India, probably you can, many of these screens can be read out in Hindi by businesses. Same thing in Europe, you can translate it to any language that you want. So, so all this infrastructure remains at the forefront of this Odoo Community Association ERP solution. Now, this makes it robust, scalable, and even cost-effective for businesses that there is a community that actually maintains such a large infrastructure. Now, if you look at this map, it shows a geographic distribution of the OCA members and its contributors. And you can see that it's bright blue, dark blue across the world. And this gives you an idea of where all OCA is getting its contributions from. Let's look at some numbers. 25 languages. It runs on 25 languages software. About 500 active members looking into all aspects of the community. And we have more than 1,400 contributors, developers, documenters, testers. And that's basically how the statistics of the contributions look like. Now the next question is, what are 4 primary ways that you as a developer or a student of IT can contribute towards Odoo Community Association code? The first part is, of course, code development. So here you need to follow the OCA's coding standards, module naming conventions, commit message guidelines, and of course ensuring proper testing through unit and functional testing. You can also conduct functional and performance testing for OCA modules, right? And then you can report bugs based on these functional testing that you've done. We also need a lot of help to improve the documentation, which is already pretty good, but we need, as versions improve, right now we are on version 18, and as we move towards further, we still need a lot of help in terms of documentation. So clear and consistent module descriptions, user guides, this will also help users and developers alike to contribute. Another important way that developers can contribute is by joining as a member, and then if you're senior enough, you can also contribute by code reviews, which means when people from around the world contribute to OCA code, you can actually review the code to ensure that it meets the OCA standards, it meets the guidelines before it's merged to the OCA standards. So these are 4 important ways as a technical student that you can contribute into OCA. So let's look at how you can start with code contributions to the Odoo Community Association. So First of all, joining the main OCA contributors mailing list is a great first step because it stays you connected and informed. You can consider joining project steering committees, be part of the review team to have a more active role. For technical contributions, the understanding of OCA's GitHub and repositories, contribution guidelines is quite essential. So what I would say is please get on to the technical stuff. There is a link which is git.scm. This gives you an idea about getting familiar with the Git. Now you are also welcome to discover our standard conventions under the github.com/OCA. There are maintainer tools available with a wiki link that will give you access to all the guidelines, standards that developers need to contribute to the OCA modules. Now, there is also a code of conduct because and that's the quality that drives the OCA modules, right? It's a quality. So there is a code of conduct that you need to read through, and that's also available under the oducommunity.org website under code of conduct. So the link is available for you. Supposing you're not a technical person and you're a functional user, no problem at all, because that's also some contributions that's it's very much needed in the Odoo Community Association contributions. And how, as a functional person, can you contribute? It can also be read up under oducommunity.org for functional consultants. I also have, as I'd like to give you a small demonstration, and one of the senior developers of the Odoo Community Association has offered to give a small demonstration on how a bug can be, or a contribution can be made to the Odoo Community Association. So with that, I'm going to give you a short video on from Anjil Haria. Anjil is a senior developer based out of Mumbai, and he is an open source enthusiast with more than 7 years of experience as a developer, and he actively contributes to the OCA by processing solutions and reporting issues and giving fantastic fixes to many OCA modules. So let me please welcome Anjil Haria, and he's going to give us a video on how or a demonstration on how to contribute.
Wishing you all a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on from where you're joining. Myself, Anjil Haria, a senior Odoo developer and an OCA contributor. Today, I would like to take you through the steps of proposing solutions to the issues reported in OCA. So as you can see on my screen, I am currently in the product attribute repo in OCA. So all of the issues for OCA modules are added in the issues section of the respective GitHub repository. So we are currently seeing the issue with the product price list simulation module. So whenever an issue is added in OCA, it usually includes the version of Odoo with which the issue is coming up, also the name of the module for which the issue comes up, and a detailed description of the issue along with supporting images and videos for the same. So for proposing solutions to the issues reported in OCA, we need to follow certain steps and conventions. So you would find that under the maintainer tools in OCA, in wiki section, you would find a documentation for migration to version 16. Similarly, you would find the document for other versions of Odoo as well. So the steps and conventions are mostly similar for all the cases, whether you want to propose new features to existing modules in OCA, propose solutions to issues in existing modules, or propose new modules. So before migrating, we need to update ourselves with the latest OCA conventions. So if you go in this link, you'll find a detailed description of the OCA guidelines to be followed. You can go through them one by one. Secondly, it says that we need to subscribe to the mailing list of this related project. It is not a compulsion. You can do that or you can leave it out. On the corresponding GitHub issue, inside the repository name migration to version 16, announce which modules you want to migrate. So this is only applicable in case we are migrating any of the modules. And lastly, we need to make sure that pre-commit is installed on our system. Pre-commit basically makes sure that we follow the code conventions which are required by OCA. Then it includes the detailed description of the task to do in the migration. So the first step that we need to do whenever we want to propose a solution is we need to fork the particular repository in our account. So we can do that by clicking on fork in the respective repository. We would be presented with a screen like this. So we need to check all the details and then you need to click on create a fork. So the fork would be created in our account. The next step that we need to do is to clone the repository in our system. We can do that by using this command as seen in the document. We can also make use of variables to ease our process. So we can create a repository variable, a module variable, and a user or variable, which is nothing but our GitHub login or organization name. So once we have created the clone of our repository and the respective branch, we need to create a new branch for proposing the fix. So in this case, it is migration MIG, but we need to change that to fix since we are proposing a fix. Then we need to uh, make the changes as needed for the issue, and then we need to run this particular command, which would make sure that all of the codes follows the OCA's code conventions. Then we need to add the changes by clicking on git add -a. Then we need to add the commit message, which is nothing but git commit -m. Here, instead of IMP, we need to add fix since we are proposing a fix. Instead of dollar $module, we need to add the module in which we are fixing the issue. And then instead of pre-commit stuff, we would be adding the message for which the issue is being fixed. Once that is done, we need to add a remote reference for the repository in our GitHub account. And last, we need to do the push command, and we need to make sure that this migration is changed to fix in our case. Once we do that, we would be provided with a link to create the pull request. We need to click on that link to create the pull request. And once the pull request is created, it would be checking for all of the requirements. Once that is done, the review would be done by the GitHub users. So that is the description in brief. Thank you.
And Jill, that was fantastic. Thank you very much for this beautiful presentation on how a person can start to contribute to the Odoo OCA modules. I think more guys and girls, you can just log into the Odoo community.org website, and there you will get more details on how you can contribute, right? So now I'm just going to give you an idea on how you can contribute to documentation. So what is the kind of conventions used? Start by studying the current documentations available at the link, right? So this link will give you the current contributions or the documentation that's available already. And for simple changes or even non-technical contributors can contribute directly to the GitHub interface. So you can use a GitHub interface and contribute for simple changes. Say there is a spelling mistake or there is something, a wrong link, you can always contribute by doing that there. But if you have more complex documentation updates, then we suggest you use Git to work from your local copy and manage these changes effectively. And how do you do that? You can follow these guidelines given on the screen. That will give you started on how to use Git for documentation part. And now, since we use restructured text or RST language for documentation, it would be good for you to read up on how RST is used and what are the benefits, and some technical details on RST would give you a fantastic idea on how to start contributing. Basically, by contributing to documentation, you kind of help the entire world of the Odoo community and the usability for the entire regions that a community is involved in. Now, I just want to give you a small glimpse of other ways that you can also contribute to the community. Let's start straight away. First of all, I would say, this is one aspect that many of us can easily contribute, right? You can just report bugs and what's available. So you can help reporting these bugs in respective GitHub repositories, provide some detailed descriptions and help developers in identify and, especially if there are critical bugs, you can write it that it's critical so that developers who are involved in contributions can immediately see it and, give it back. You can also test new features. So Odoo is a community association. We're bringing out new features, new contributions come in every day, and just go to the run board, spin up this new feature, and then you are ready to test these new features. So that's something that you can also give some feedback. It could be functional feedback, it could be improvement feedback on these features. So that's a fantastic way to contribute. You can also join the community forums where users actually need help, and if you're an expert or you have some expertise in Odoo, you can jump right in and start supporting users. This is another big area that people can contribute. Translations, because Odoo, like I mentioned in the previous slides, it's used in 25 languages. So if you feel that your language needs to be there, or you can improve certain aspects of some languages, feel free to use the translation features in Odoo for translating. And Odoo uses something very powerful called Weblate for these translations, right? It's also a part of our infrastructure that we have in the community association. Now, let's look at another way that you can contribute. Say you have a business, you're a functional user. You might want to see a new feature that's really important for your business or for your kind of industry. Please feel free to request for a new feature, that too using the relevant GitHub links or contacting the project steering committee. You can request for new features. So end of the day, it's open source, it's community driven, so everybody's contribution, whether it's developing, reporting bugs, requesting new features, every small aspect is important. So we look forward for that. The next slide, I'd like to give you, what is a run bot? Run bot is nothing but it's an environment that's created, that's stimulated for every release that's done on the Odoo Community Association. So every release can be seen here. You can compare versions, you can compare features, and it's a beautiful area to get into. So for your testing, for your exploring new features. And I think one of the best part of Runbot is that it runs around the clock. As soon as there is a new release, it spins up a new box there, as you can see on the screen. And then please click the play button to start your instance and testing it out. And finally, a call to action for all who is viewing this presentation, aspiring students who want to get into Odoo Community Association development. Please feel free to look at this, because every contribution, whether it's technical, functional, financial, helps strengthen our ecosystem and benefits businesses and users worldwide, especially who are inclined to using open source and with the FoSS philosophy. So you are also welcome, like I am doing today, you're also welcome to talk about Odoo, in your colleges, in your universities. Please feel free to promote it. You can contact me directly if you need any help with that. Eric and myself is here, and we are very much happy to give you any kind of help in terms of documentation, in terms of links, in terms of master classes, anything else. But you're also free to promote it yourself. So this is one way of helping Odoo Community Association, right? But there are a few guidelines that you can follow. This is just an idea. Pick a good subject. Register your event with a catchy title. You can share your presentations with us so we can also spread it across forums. And of course, if you write great content, it'll help spread the word. Now, if you have no intention of contributing technically or functionally, you can also become a sponsor. So, because running such a community is it's very draining on finances. It needs support from businesses. It needs supports from users. It needs supports from members. And another way that you can contribute to is becoming a member within OCA. OCA has about 500 plus members, which is constantly actively contributing. But I would, plead with the community across India, across Africa, across Namibia. Namibia has a lot of participants today. To see how they can contribute effectively to Odoo. And for businesses who want to see a sustainable world in open source, especially to run their businesses with privacy, with security, please feel to contribute to the OCA. And this is some ways that we can also expand our capability, use it for other PR work, community outreach programs, and of course conduct code sprints, because now we want to move from version 18 to the newer version. Then we need to conduct some code sprints, and any contribution for that would help. And this is the QR code for if you want to contribute. This is the QR code that you can start with. And the last slide is that I want to give you an idea of some group companies or some of our customers who have been very successful across the world using Odoo Community Association software. And so we are saying if we can achieve it, so can you. So please, help this freedom of choice in open source and spread the good work. Thank you for listening in, and if you have questions regarding this, you're welcome to directly contact me through social forums, as well as in this YouTube channel. There is a chat option. There is also our Mattermost channel. There is also a Telegram channel that you can contribute and ask questions to either one of us, and we would be happy. Once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all a very good evening, good afternoon, or a good morning, wherever you're part in this world. Thank you.